Good evening, everyone. I'm so excited to be here again. Good evening, everyone. You're welcome to the day three of the live upgrade 4.0. So please, if you are on this call, just put a comment in the comment box. So let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. Good evening, everyone. So I'll be checking the chat box to see those who are following me at this point. Okay. It's going to be an amazing time tonight, and I particularly am, so excited about what tonight holds for us. It's going to be an amazing time. It's going to be, wisdom packed filled night. And I can't wait for what our speaker has in store for us. So if you are here, just put something in the comment section. Let me know if you can hear me, if I'm loud and clear. So just put in the comment section so I'll be sure to know that I am actually communicating clearly. The next 1 hour is going to be such an amazing one. Oh, I can see Toluwani Okoye. God bless you. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Where are you joining me from? Where are you joining me from? Thank you. We can hear you and see you. Oh my God, I'm feeling myself tonight. You can hear me and see me. Thank you so much. Toluwani Okoye. Thank you for joining. Please, where are you joining me from? Where are you joining me from? I'd like to know where you're joining me from. So, a brief intro. I am Sandra Orimladeye, and I'm your host for tonight. So, please, Toluwani, let me know where you're joining me from. From Zaria. Wow. Wow, that's beautiful. Zaria, that's beautiful. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Yeah, others are going to put in theirs as well. So today is the day three of the live upgrade 4.0, and it's been back to back to back impact, like from day one to day two, right? Yesterday we had the phenomenal Olaniwaju Aishat, who taught us on how to build our personal brand, standing out in a competitive landscape, and it was so amazing. I really learned a lot, and everyone who were present here could attest to the fact that it was such a moment well spent. Like it was such an amazing time. It was such a wisdom filled time, and everyone with something tangible. One thing she said, she made mention of, she said that to build a personal brand is not about showing off, it is about making an impact. That really was deep. So Toluwani, were you here yesterday? So you can let me know what stood out for you during the session of Aishat Olamiwaju, where she talked to us about building your personal brand. So let me know what stood out for you. So you can just put it in the comments box. Let me know. All right. Thank you. Because of our time, I don't want to waste much of our time because our speaker is really, he's so ready to dish out. He's so ready to dish out. He's so ready to dish. And today, guess what? We'll be talking about how to grow your career, right? Navigating the job market, skills for the future, and he'll be teaching us on how to grow your career. And one thing I like us to know is the fact that one of the journeys we cannot neglect is our career journey. It's a significant journey that it's very important, and that's why it's something that we really need to pay attention to. It's something we need to invest our time into understanding how to grow effectively in our career. And that is the reason why tonight's topic is very, is so important. So I really want us to open our heart to learn and just ensure you're with your writing materials, right? It's going to be We are going on another flight tonight, and like I said, particularly me, I cannot wait to learn from what our speaker has for us. So very quickly, let me just read the profile of our speaker, and then I'll bring him right away. Paul Adeagbo is on a mission with Mindshift Consulting Limited to transform Nigerian graduates into global talents. He is a career coach with a half a decade experience whose job search strategy has assisted over 300 clients to secure coveted job opportunities across diverse sectors. He has also provided invaluable support to 15 clients who successfully gained admission to graduate programs, including the prestigious Chevron Scholarship. He also guided 25 graduates into the venture in management program at Lagos Business School. Beyond his coaching, Paul is the editorial director of Employable, a career development magazine that reaches over 5,000 professionals across 6 African countries. He is also the driving force behind the Campus Career and Employability Conference. He strongly believes that there is a strong correlation between a nation's human capital pool and their economic competitiveness. So he specializes in empowering young professionals to excel in their careers, helping them access opportunities that align with their career aspirations. Moreover, crafting professional documents such as CVs, cover letters, and admission essays is another significant challenge. Paul's expertise shines here, making these tasks more manageable and helping you secure the career opportunities you deserve. If you are genuinely committed to achieving your career goals and seeking the services to make it happen, Paul is a mentor you've been searching for. Ladies and gentlemen, with joy in our hearts and digital clap innovation, let's make welcome Mr. Paul Adeagbo. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ma, for bringing me up. Thank you very much. I'm really, really grateful. I hope you can hear me loud and clear.
Yes, we can hear you loud and
I'm
clear.
grateful to Sense of Purpose, all that you do. We see it all over social media. You see the beautiful things that you do. You touch the lives of many. Every of the team members, your husband, yourself, and the team in entirety. Thank you very much for all that you do and your contribution to Nigeria's development. I pray that the good God will continue to help you in the name of Jesus. Yeah, so straight on point, the topic assigned to me this evening as to conversation so far. Today is day 3. I am very, very sure that on day 1 and day 2, the topic assigned have done real well to the topics assigned to them. So I'm just going to be adding to the layers of thoughts they are shooting to the knowledge that this conversation deserves. Looking at the theme of the entire conference, economy, thriving in the new economy. I'm going to be using my topic to help you in all that in the new economy. So, what is the topic assigned to me? I think you can see it already running down the screen. Navigating the job market, skills for the future. Navigating the job market, skills for the future. I think the topic has given you an idea of what we want. The skills for the future are what you need in the market. The skills of the future are what you need to thrive in the economy of today. Should you, maybe for some reasons, you don't know what is exactly happening in the labor market, permit me to help you with some statistics, with some data that is going to lend you to know what is on ground and the reason why you need to pay attention to what today's discussion is. In the Nigeria of today, starting with our local context, the Nigeria of today that you and I live in, for those who live in, we are currently dealing with an unemployment rate of about 40%. of about 40%. What does that mean? It means that for every population of 100 graduates who just finished from their institution, 40 of within the next 2 years, they won't get a job no matter what they do. Only 60 of them will get a job. But that's not the only problem we are dealing with. Among the 60 who can get a job among the 100, not all of them will get it and will get paid. There's a twin problem we are dealing with, and it is called underemployment. Under you are doing the job, you have a job, you are working 40 hours per week or more, but you are getting paid as if you are working less. Employment means. And I think in reality, some of you can relate when you hear of how much they are paying graduates in some organizations, maybe organizations, yeah, their graduates, full-fledged graduates are being paid 25,000, 50,000, 70,000, 100,000. For you to know how underpaid or how low that money is, let me give you this question I used to ask graduates. Thing that was spent on you from the day you were born until the day you graduated from school, that were spent on you by your parents, by those who by your by those who took care of you while growing up. If it was a loan with as a graduate, salary of 100,000 as a graduate, how many years would it take you to pay back the loan? For an exam chest and say anybody from day zero till you graduated from their institution, even if you went to a government funded institution in Nigeria, I'm sure your parents have spent nothing less than 5 million naira on you. Look at the clothes you bought while growing up, the number of medications you took when you fell ill, the toys you bought, they bought for you, the recreations you had, the travels the expenditures, uniforms, the clothes, the books, the textbooks, everything, the bags, the shoes, everything you spent from kindergarten on their institution. For some of you, maybe you went to polytechnic, some of you went to college of education, some people went to their institution, some people did pre-degree, some people wrote jam a few times, some people did tutorial centers, some people had all sort of things. Imagine 5 million naira on you from day zero till you finish from their institution with a salary of 100K. If 5 million naira was a board, how many years would it take you to pay back your parents with a salary of 100,000? That's a very, very, very important question you should ask yourself. That's how to know how underpaid graduates are in this country. It's not entirely the socio-economic of Nigeria. I put it back. There are so many stakeholders to blame in these realities, in the employment you are dealing with, in the underemployment you are dealing with. But that's a different conversation entirely. Who should we blame to get out of this mess? That's not why we are here. But let's focus on you who is here with me. You are the graduate, or maybe some of you are still in school, or maybe some of you are the case is. You are the one here with me. I'm not talking to policy makers. I'm not talking to all of the other stakeholders. I'm talking to you. Because the truth of the matter is, if anybody is underemployed, if anybody is underpaid, if anybody is does not have a job yet, because it is you have the biggest blame. I should blame you more than I will blame any other thing. Why? because nothing happens to you without your consent. If you are unemployed, it's because you permitted it. If you are underpaid, it's because you allowed it. Nothing happens to you without your consent. You have a condition to it. Enough of putting blame on you. How will you get out of it? How do you avoid this reality? Should not there yet. How do you avoid this? And that's why we are having this conversation. How do you navigate this job market in such a way that you are corrupted by these realities? Because if you think these realities are not there, is because you are trying to avoid the reality. Any average Nigerian family has somebody who is either underpaid or somebody who does not have a job, especially if they have anybody that is above 18 in that family. Any Nigerian family, they have at least one person. And that's not entirely because of the poverty in Nigeria. No, that's a different conversation. But I'm here to help you navigate the job market. I am here to tell you what are the skills of the future and how do you show you are supposed to be. How do you show up at the labor market that you can play beyond the Nigerian labor market and play at a global level? All that we do at Mindshift is to help talent to become globally competitive. So how do you play your game? How do you do your things in a way that your reward attract compensations in different currencies? Do you think that's possible? Yes, that's very, very possible. That's very, I have a whole catalog of client experiences whom we have helped to do amazing things and to get well paid, doing beautiful well in their well established careers. So it is from these experiences that I'm going to be sharing with you. So once again, I'm introducing the topic, navigating the job for the future. I've introduced the peculiarity of the Nigerian job market. But let me tell you another thing as it relates to skills for the future. I was researching something and I was reading a global magazine in 2021, and where I found out that artificial intelligence as of 2004, artificial intelligence has been a conversation. The world was already preparing the word artificial intelligence since 2004. But it was until 2020, after the COVID, suddenly virtual became a reality here in Africa. It was until after COVID that artificial intelligence became the conversation here and there. But as we speak in 2024, some people think all that it is to AI is ChatGPT. Some people think all that it is to AI is no notebook LM, the one that Google just opened recently. Some people think all that it is to artificial intelligence is Gemini. No, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. So many people are unaware about what artificially means. Some people have an idea, but that idea is not enough. They just have some people don't know. Some people don't know what artificial intelligence is all about. Some people have an idea, but that idea is not enough. That idea is not enough. Is not enough. You don't want to play. If you really want to navigate the job market like a pro, if you really want to thrive in the economy that I have just described to you, you need to know, you need to know, you need to have well solid information about your career. You need to have depth in your career, in whatever career you are choosing. You need to have depth and have other information about other fields so that you can find the interconnectedness. Yes, I know be some people's career, maybe because they are in art, they are in microbiology, they are in this, they are in that. because we are because we are preparing for the future of work. You need to know everything. You need to know something about artificial intelligence and how it relates. This conversation is not entirely about artificial intelligence. I just used it as a conversation to show you how ignorant some people are about the conversations of today. How ignorant some people are on the matters arising. That should not be your case. In order to prepare for the future, you will not have the skills of the future if you don't know the conversations of the future. How do you prepare for what you don't know exists? Let me repeat it again. You won't have the skills of the future if you don't know the matters arising about the future. If you cannot put your mouth on conversations about the future, you won't have the skills. In fact, what are skills? Skills are practical. Yes, skills are derivative of a body. I can only have the skills to work on on a car, on an automobile, if knowledge on how to go about it. Let me repeat it again so that you can get what I'm trying to say. Skills are a derivative of knowledge. Have you heard them say, you know you will do better if you know better? It means if you don't know, you can't do. I wrote something down today and I want to read it out to you. I want to read it out to you because I think it's very important for you to hear. Where is it? Okay, now this is it. Knowledge is power, and this is because it precedes action. Knowledge is power and precedes action. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to show you the significance, the relevance of knowledge on action. And you won't act on it if you don't know what to do. Action because of a knowledge is because you know what to do, and that's where skills come in. A trained accountant can know what to do as to what to do on an account, to do what to do, on how to take inventory and all of that because he or she has a knowledge of accounting. I don't have that. So I don't have the skills to be an accountant. I don't have enough knowledge to be a social manager, to be a social media manager. I don't have about social media management. So I don't know what to do. I just know how to manage my Facebook account and that's all. In fact, I don't Instagram, I don't know how to unlink it. There are so many things I can't do. And the reason I can't do them is because I don't know how to do them. I'm using all of these illustrations and examples to show you that there is a significant, a direct relationship with and skills. There's a significant, a strong relationship, a strong correlation with knowledge and skills. With knowledge. So, as we prepare for the future of work, as you prepare for the skills of the future, as you future of work, you need to have enough knowledge of first of all your local labor market. One, the global labor market. You don't have to know everything, but you have to know something. I'm going to tell you where all of this, how all of this makes sense eventually. But I want you to know a bit of these things so that it can help you to position. Number one, you need to know about your local labor market. Maybe somebody's in Nigeria, maybe because you're in Kenya, because you're in Rwanda, you're in South Africa, you're in Brazil, your labor market, your local labor market, that's your country, that's what I'm talking about. You also need to know about the global labor market. You need to have an idea on technological advancement, especially in your field. Especially in your field. What are the technological advancements? What are the what how can I do my work better? How can I do it more efficiently? As an accountant, you don't really need a calculator for most. You don't need to calculate it all by yourself. With by knowing how to use Microsoft Excel well, calculations can be sorted without pressing a calculator. If you are very good at Microsoft Excel, you know what I'm talking about. There's so many things happening. So, what technological advancement is happening in my field? What are the things that are changing in my field? What are those things you need to know? Because if you don't know, you can't do. If you don't know enough, I think I must also mention that it's not enough for you to know. If you don't know to a point that it can try, then you don't know enough. You are just aware. You are just familiar. Don't be aware. I'm not talking about awareness. I'm talking about knowledge. Listen to me again. There's a difference between awareness and familiarity and knowledge. No awareness. I'm not talking about familiarity. I'm talking about knowledge. Because knowledge translates to action. Knowledge translates to your. A medical doctor who goes through the medical school comes out after 7 years here in Nigeria, knows what to do, and becomes a licensed medical doctor. A lawyer, somebody who goes through 4 or 5 years in the Nigerian universities to study law, and then goes to the Nigerian law school or whatever law school he or she goes. At the end of that training, because of the he has acquired, that person has been able to become a lawyer. And because the person is a lawyer, the person has what it takes, the skills required to work as a lawyer. Do you understand what I'm saying? All of these things I said was to show you the significant relationship with knowledge and skills. So now that you know that knowledge is important to navigating the job market, you are not in this conversation this night, we are not just talking about the skills for the future, we are equally talking about the knowledge of the, because if you don't know anything about the future, you won't have any skill to bring on board for the future. So now let's talk a bit the nature of work in the world that we live in. Of course, you already know since 2020 that the world is already running at an unprecedented pace. Already running at an unprecedented pace. Automation, artificial intelligence are becoming the order of the day. Automation and artificial intelligence are redefining industries. Some weeks ago, okay, just before I tell you what happened some weeks ago, I know that as an undergraduate in the higher institution, there are materials, there are textbooks that we had to read that are very important to passing exams. Very important. However, sometimes those textbooks are very boring. They are uneasy to read. Very boring. If you can relate with what I am saying, I want you to type in the comment section, say I can relate. Some materials you are given in their institution are very boring, very boring, uneasy to read, and all of that. But then you need to read those materials to prepare for your examination. But now, thanks to Google, they have introduced an AI tool called Notebook LM. What you just need to do is to upload that material on that website. And what will that do for you? You are going to have there are going to be two narrators who are going to explain what is in the content of that material that you uploaded. They're going to explain to you as if that person, as if they are your teachers. So without without the effort of your teacher, without the contribution of your teacher, what then are you going to do? You are able to read, to understand, to comprehend the content of that material. So it makes reading fun. It makes reading interactive for you. That's what artificial intelligence is doing. One of the many things they are doing, they are redefining industries. Remote work is opening up opportunities. It means some people, we have clients, my shift, we have clients who work from the comfort of their homes, and yet the organizations they are working for are not in Africa. They are working from the comfort of their homes. One of our clients who is highly paid, works from the comfort of her home in Ile-Ife. If you compare the life in Ile-Ife versus the organization she's working for, you will know that they are miles apart. What am I trying to say? I'm just trying to let you know that remote work is here to stay. The gig opportunity, where freelance and short-term contract, they are here to stay. How do you plug in? So this is not the time to be complaining about a national unemployment. This is not the time to be complaining about national underemployment. No. Why? Because there are global opportunities around. Because you can work remotely, and you know what remote work means, especially if you are working with an organization that pays you in dollars. It means you earn more than your Nigerian counterpart. The gig opportunity is here, where you can work as a freelancer on selected websites, where things are working, where you get to earn and work at your own pace. Just this evening, I was talking with my colleague at work, and I was mentioning to him how one of my very close friend, what he does is teaching. He teaches on one of the websites, just one of these website that for teachers. What does he teach them? He teaches them software development as a teacher, and he earns way more than so many people who teach the same thing here in Nigeria. All of these things are made possible. Why? The gig economy. Why? Remote work. These are things that are happening in the world today. I know some of you here who are listening to me, these things are not new to you. But then, it's not enough to know what the opportunities that I had to tell you these opportunities, because it's not enough to know the challenges in our local labor market. It's enough for me to also tell you the opportunities that exist in both the local and the global labor market. Knowing this, how then do you position for these opportunities? You position for these opportunities, especially the opportunities of the future, by having the skills of the future. So, number one skill you should learn, I'm going to be grouping the skills into four. I'm going to be grouping the skills into four. Then you can maybe, if I have enough time, I can list some examples under them. But until then, number one skill, technical skills. Technical skills. Technical skills. Digital illiteracy is no longer an excuse. This is 2024. You can't say you don't know how to use Microsoft Word. In fact, you should have gone beyond Microsoft Word. You should now know how to use Google Sheets. You should have gone beyond knowing how to use Microsoft Word. You should now be able to do collaborative work using Google Doc. Do you understand what I'm saying? The world has gone beyond bricks and mortar. Now the world now does over collaborative work over the internet. So digital illiteracy is no longer an excuse. The fact that you were born in the village is an excuse some years ago, is no longer an excuse. If you are listening to me from anywhere in the world, it means you have a smartphone. It means you have a smart device. And the fact that you have a smart device may, in one way or the other, you no longer have an excuse for digital illiteracy. So, how do you empower yourself? How do you become digitally literate to prepare yourself for the skills of the future? The skills you need to learn go beyond familiarity with Microsoft Office and move from Microsoft Office to Microsoft 365. Microsoft Office is just Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint, Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Access, and all of that, and all of that. But no, wake up. Microsoft Office have moved into becoming a productivity software. It then means we now have Microsoft Teams. Microsoft Teams. Microsoft this, that, this, so many other products under Microsoft. They have transited from Office to Microsoft 365, and this is all encompassing. Some people they only know how to send email from their Gmail. They don't know how to send mails, how to check mails using Microsoft Outlook. The skills of the future: become digitally literate, be familiar with these things, become knowledgeable. Data analysis, how to use programming languages. These are technical skills. But the amazing question: what technical skills should you be developing around your field? What technical skills around your field? What technical skills should you be developing around your field? You know, you are in engineering. Some of you are in agriculture, whatever it is. Some of you are in fashion. Some of you are in this, whatever it is. What technical skills should you develop? What technical competencies should you develop in your field of endeavor? Number two skills you are required to also, okay, before I go to number two, technical skills can also be called hard skills. Technical skills can also be called hard skills. Permit me to drink some water. Thank you. Number two skills, soft skills. Soft skills. Now, I need to explain the difference between hard skills, which are also called technical skills, and soft skills. It does not mean one is hard like hard and the other one is soft like soft. No. Technical skills, these are skills that are required within a body of knowledge. The skills you need as a social media manager are not the same skills you need as a lawyer. They are not the same skills you need as an engineer. Technical skills, hard skills are skills that are required based on the field. Do you understand? They are required based on the field. You don't need data analysis as a fashion designer. In fact, it's only social media analytics you need as a social media manager. You don't really need how to you don't know how to you don't need to know how to use Power BI. It's not your business. Except you are transiting to a different field. So technical skills are skills required for required within a particular field. Soft skills, however, are skills that transcend beyond a particular field. Some of those skills involve communication, critical thinking, problem solving, and several others. This does not have anything to do with any field. If you can talk, if you can communicate well, it is needed across every other field. It is needed across other fields. Emotional intelligence is needed across all fields. So, number one, technical skills. Number two, soft skills. Number three, leadership skills. Leadership skills. It is very, 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 very important that you also improve upon your leadership skills. Why? Because leadership is considered to be the ability to inspire, to guide, and to manage people. And this is a highly paid, a highly sought after skills in a globally in a world that is interconnected. I was listening to Vusi yesterday when he was speaking at the Global Entrepreneurship Festival, and he was mentioning about the heads of his department they are from different countries of the world. He said his head of IT is from India, his head of marketing is from Philippines. He said his head of sales is from different countries of the world. Earlier this month, I was at a friend's wedding when somebody he has been working with for in the past 4 years. He was just meeting the person at his wedding. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. I'm saying because of the interconnectedness of the world today, because of the remote job opportunities of the day, now we now begin to have opportunities to work with people that we don't know. We work with people from other races, from other cultures, from other countries. Leadership is needed in order to manage those people. Leadership is needed to guide those people. Leadership is needed to manage those people, to make decisions at the face of uncertainty. Leadership is needed to lead diverse teams with a focus on cultural sensitivity. If you are speaking to somebody from Ghana, something that is very, very dear to you here in Nigeria may be offensive to a Ghanaian. Something that is not a big deal to a Ghanaian may be offensive to a Filipino. You never know. So leadership is needed, and this is the reason why having an MBA puts you at the edge in any labor market. There are so many reasons why MBA graduates are paid higher, but I'm not going to talk about the other things. I'm just going to focus on one of the things. Is because one of the things MBA does, especially when it is done well, when it has enough content, one of the things it does, it trains you to manage humans. Leadership and human resource management is one of the things MBA, people who go through MBA, they learn. It helps you to lead people. It helps you to inspire people and all of that. So number one skill that you need to learn technical skills around your field. Number two, soft skills, and I cited examples. Number three, leadership skills. And number four, self-management. Self-management skills. You need to know. You need to know. You have had them say consistency. Consistency, that's a self-management skill. Self-awareness, that's a self-management skill. Emotional intelligence, although that's for people, but when you are self-aware, it means you are emotionally intelligent about yourself. What are this? What are your anger triggers? What are your anger triggers? Some people don't know, but for most people, when you are hungry, that's one of your triggers. Some people, when they are stressed, they are prone to anger. That's a trigger. And it is because of self-management. You have studied yourself so well, and you know that when I'm hungry, I'm vulnerable to getting mad. So what does that mean? Around those vulnerable moments, you don't do anything funny because you know now I'm hungry. Anybody who comes to look for my trouble, Let me be a little patient. That's self-management. That's self-management. That's self-management. Resilience. That's a self-management skills. You never giving up in the face of uncertainty, in the face of tough times. These are self-management skills that you need. Continuous learning. That's a self-management skill. Continuous learning, time management, self-motivation. That's self-management skill. You staying focused, you staying keeping your edges sharpened, you staying at the nick of time, learning what you need to learn, developing capacities to solve the problems of today and that of tomorrow. Those are self-management. These are skills that you need to learn. I've been able to group all of these skills for the future into four, and I hope you paid attention. I even gave examples so that you will know that developing skills for the future, thriving in the economy of today, thriving in the gig economy is not by wishes. It's not by just some, it's not by gambling, it's not by sampling. There are things you need to know and there are things you need to do. There are things you need to cultivate and you need to cultivate some of these skills. How do you acquire these skills? Let me quickly do that as I round up my session here this evening. How do you acquire these skills? For some of you say, no, Kai, Paul, you have spoken. How do I acquire critical thinking skills? Paul, you have spoken. How do I acquire leadership skills to prepare for the future of work, to navigate the job economy, to do better at what I do? How do I acquire the skills of the future? Number one, you need to know. You need to know and you need to agree. You need to believe. You need to run with this lifelong learning. Lifelong learning. Lifelong learning. Lifelong learning. Socrates once said, when he was asked, that you are such a wise man. Look at all the many things that you know. You are such a wise man. In fact, we consider you as the wisest man in the world. Socrates said, no, no, I know nothing. I know nothing. I know nothing. Let me tell you, Socrates' response to saying I know nothing is not inferiority complex. He is not shining. No, no, what do they call this syndrome that they look down on themselves? It's not imposter syndrome. When Socrates was saying I know nothing, that's not inferiority complex. It's not imposter syndrome. No, it's him showing the capacity for continuous learning, that I know nothing and I need to be in a state of continuous learning, to continue to learn, to continue to know, to continue to research, to continue to take courses, to continue to take courses. When you know that you don't know enough for global opportunities, then you know that whatever institution you went to is not enough for you. Let me say this to the Nigerian audience. Let me say this to our Nigerian audience, especially maybe you're an undergraduate or you have. I have never been a fan of those who say one school is better than the other. Especially, I've seen debate to say Unilorin is better than UI, Unilag is better than this. Those are very foolish arguments. I've traveled across many government-owned institutions in Nigeria. Let me tell you the truth. They got very harsh to say, oh, you these all of them, those things. Those things are not true. Some of those institutions you see are living on past glory. All of those institutions are just in different locations, managed by the same mindset and ideologies, point blank, managed by the same government, managed by the same underfunded government, just different locations. Let me say it again. Some of our government institutions, our government universities are just in different locations but managed by the same set of people, the same set of ideologies, and the same set of underfunded government. So why should you be comparing one school to another? All those things, those are low budget. Those are low budget, low quality conversations. What should you be doing? You should be adding global education to whatsoever you learn from school. What are you learning? Take a course online. Pay for courses on Coursera. Pay for courses on LinkedIn Learning if you can afford it. Acquire in demand skills. If you can't pay for it, then you can't learn from it. Sorry, if you can't learn, then you can't earn. If you can't pay for it, nobody will pay you for it. Learning comes before earning. If you can't pay for it, nobody will pay you for it. So, how do you acquire future skills? You must put yourself at a position that you must continue to learn. Lifelong learning, lifelong learning, lifelong learning. Number two, build a professional network. A professional network. See, the truth of the matter is what you know will save you, but who you know too is very important. Have you heard them say what you know is not enough? Who you know, yes. I believe very strongly. Know something, but I also believe, please know people. Don't just have a body of knowledge, have a very solid, robust network. Because the truth of the matter is that personal connection open doors in Nigeria and across the world. Personal connections open doors. Build a professional network. One of our clients just got a job that is times two, more than times two what he's currently earning. How did he get a job? Just because he spoke to somebody. That all in all my experience as a career coach, that's the simplest job ever. He just spoke to somebody who was his friend when they were in the university. And just before you know it, a job landed. And the job is paying him almost times three what he's currently earning. How? He knows somebody. And I can tell you, when they were in Unilag so many years ago, he didn't know that the friendship with that guy is going to help him in 2024. What am I trying to say? Build relationships. Relationships. Yes, have relationships with those above, have relationship with HR professionals, have relationship with employers of labor, but don't also forget to have relationship with your fellow interview applicants. Have relationships with your colleagues, with your classmates. Build relationship with that guy that is next door. Because the truth of the matter is that one relationship can open many doors. Many doors. You never can tell. You never can tell. If you're a Christian, just as I am, you know the story of Joseph. He was a fellow prisoner with the guy who took him out of the prison. Just a fellow prisoner. And who knows? I'm sure Joseph also did not know until it happened that a fellow prisoner can get him out of the prison. Don't look down on anybody. Don't say he's just my classmate. I'm even the one teaching him. Don't look down on anybody, including the gate man. Don't look down on anybody, including the secretary. In fact, you need to know the secretary, the gate man, the receptionist, these are the people that will give you access. The PA, these are people that will give you access to the boss. So don't look down on anybody. Don't look down on anybody. Number three, you need to gain practical experience. Gain practical experience. I can't say that enough. Volunteer if you need to. Get into internships if you need to. If you don't gain experience, nobody will pay you a dime. They are just going to think all your skills are just some Udemy driven skills. But if you have experiences, nobody can deny your skills. People can deny your skills if all you have is knowledge, but nobody will deny your skills if you have experience. And the interesting thing is that sometimes some of this experience can be acquired when nobody is paying you. So gain practical experiences, volunteer, get on freelance projects, gain hands-on experience, and most importantly, stay informed about the trends happening in your organization, in your industry. There are four ways to acquire skills. Number one, lifelong learning. Number two, build a professional network. Number three, gain practical experiences. Number four, stay informed. I repeat it. Four strategies to acquire skills of the future. Number one, lifelong learning. Number two, build a professional network. Number three, gain practical experiences. Number four, stay informed. Do you understand what I'm saying? So with this, um, so are you a job seeker? Maybe now or later, maybe you're still in school or wherever the case may be. How do you put all of these things into the face of an employer to prepare yourself? Number one, you need to get a CV. Get a CV. That's very, very important. You need to have a CV. Number two, you need to master interview techniques. Prepare for interviews. Because the goal of submitting interviews, I'm sorry, submitting CVs is to get a job. And you won't get a job without getting on interviews. So prepare yourself for interview. Part of preparation, interview preparation, is preparing to negotiate your salary. These are very important things. Very important things. I don't have enough time to dwell on that, but I have a book. I have a book where all of these informations are written in the Job Seeker Bible. I called it the Job Seeker Bible, not because it's a religious text, but simply because it contains all that you need, the A to Z of the entire thing that you need to make a very, very sound application, job application process. All the knowledge, the strategies, the tips that has worked for my clients, that has gotten them job in places like Nairametrics, InterSwitch, that has gotten them jobs across many, many organizations across Nigeria, many financial institutions in Nigeria and outside Nigeria. Put all of those tips to help you, whether your interest is getting a job within Nigeria or outside Nigeria. The Job Seeker Bible is what you need. It helps you to prepare, it helps you to craft a proof, a winning CV, and not just a CV. You also need a cover letter. For so many reasons, you need it. You need to prepare for interview, you need to prepare for salary negotiation. All of this and more are embedded in the job. It is called a Job Seeker Bible for a reason. But let's not forget that your personal brand is equally important to getting a job. I know one of our facilitators dealt with that yesterday, but I'm saying I'm also bringing it from a professional point of view to aid your career, to aid your job search. The Job Seeker Bible is the solution that you need to beat the realities of the Nigerian labor market and to get the job that you deserve, of course, that pays you more. But don't forget the conversation we have had so far. We have had conversation on how to navigate the job market, how to acquire the skills of the future. I talked about the reality in the Nigerian labor market and of course in the global labor market as well. I talked about the skills that you need, the skills of the future that you need. I spoke about how to acquire those skills. And of course, I also ended with the practical steps for you as a job seeker. So, with this and more, I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. So if you have questions for me, please put it in the comment section. I want to read, I want to answer your questions. Thank you very much, Sandra, for hosting me. I'm really grateful.
Wow, wow, wow. That was mind blowing. That was enlightening. I'm tempted to use this adjective. That was technical. Thank you so much for that's so amazing. I've learned a lot, and likewise our viewers too, because I could see the points they were dropping. So it's just so amazing that they were catching some alt framers. Thank you so much, Mr. Paul Adeagbo, for dishing out such transformative information. I know for sure that putting in the action, right, we're going to see the results because you are
Yes.
not just a theoretical speaker, you are a practical speaker. I've seen all of these things you talk about play out in your life, right? And I know that you've already, transferred that strategy to we here. And of course, we are going to see our results soon. Yeah, that's an assurance. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation. That was so profound. So please follow our guest speaker Paul Adiabo on all social media. The link to follow him on his social media platform as posted to top WhatsApp group. So please just go there, you see the link and follow him up for more, juicy information, right? If you want to grow your career, is a go-to person. You are not going to miss out on that. I can assure you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, everyone, for being a part of tonight's session. I believe you've learned one or two things. And do not forget, one of the things our guest speaker mentioned, right? He said, to acquire skills for the future, you need to build robust relationship, you need to build quality relationship. And guess what? Tomorrow we'll be having the amazing Mr. Andrew. I cannot pronounce his surname, right? Mr. Andrew is going to be here, right, talking to us about networking in the digital age, right? How to build meaningful connections. So you can see why you don't have to miss tomorrow. It's going to be another impactful session. And do not forget to hit the subscription button. Yeah, subscribe on our YouTube channel so you can get more updates and more life transforming videos. And I can assure you, you are in for a great ride. See you tomorrow, same time, same venue. And do not forget to come along with a friend. Bye for now.